We will talk about the rewards and evolution of the subordinate, who have been bestowed a title of a lord and the ascension as true demon lord. After defeating the Empire's forces, Rimuru decided to test out the evolution ritual, and also serve as rewards for repelling the Empire's armies and before the Tenma Time War began. Spoilers. This video contains information ahead from the anime and manga and are mixed up from both novels, and before we will start, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell for upcoming videos. Let's start with Gabiru. He is the son of the Lizardman chieftain, and the captain of the Lizardmen warrior. Gelmid named him once before the stories began. He was used by his former master to satisfy his own gains to make the Orc Lord a demon lord. He manipulated to seize the lizards and direct confrontation with the orcs, almost leading to the extinction of the lizards, but they were saved by Rimuru's interference. After the war with the orcs, Gabiru was exiled for his treason, and later he decided to join the ranks, and suddenly his name is overridden by Rimuru, causing him evolving into a dragonute. He works in the research department cultivating herbs for potions, and also captain of the Hiryu the Flying Dragons, the country's primary aerial attack force. He has an unique skill tuner. It is a mysterious skill that activates when an attack doesn't land, changing the worst outcome into a fortunate one, for short unexpected results. After the war against the Eastern Empire, Rimuru gave him the title, Dragon Lord, as one of Rimuru's 12 patrons and moved 100,000 souls through the Soul Corridor. After that he awakened as a true demon lord. Since he was unable to attain an ultimate skill of his own, he was still bestowed an ultimate gift, Pirate Star, which allow him to change his fate once a day. Next is Geld. He is the son of the deceased Orc Lord, who became a demon lord in order to save his people from famine. After the Orc disaster's defeat, seeing Geld's desire to accept full responsibility for the sins of his father and the people during their rage in the Jura Forest, he and his kin were forgiven by Rimuru and joined the Jura Forest Alliance. He personally requested that he and his direct underling are allowed to work under directly Rimuru in his town. He was then given the name of Geld as a memento, and token of appreciation of the Orc Lord, and the title of Orc King. He eventually became the leader of Tempest's engineering corps, the Yellow Numbers, overseeing construction of civil and defense projects, as well as an effective combat unit specializing in defensive strategies. He has a unique skill, Guardian, redirects damage to himself, thus protecting his army using his own defenses. After the war against the Eastern Empire, Rimuru gave him the title, Barrier Lord, as one of Rimuru's 12 patrons and moved 100,000 souls through the Soul Corridor, but he declined the awakening to a true demon lord, probably also a form of atonement, but in the end, he ascended as a true demon lord. During the Battle of the Fallen Angels, since he was unable to attain an ultimate skill of his own, he was still bestowed an ultimate gift, Gourmet Lord Beelzebub, a downgraded version of Rimuru's gluttonous Lord Beelzebuth. It was the combination of both of unique skill Gourmet and Guardian. It can grant defense, corrode, devour and some other additional stuff added in. Next is Adelman. He was once a prince, in his hometown was one of the many province states under the rule of the Holy Empire Ruberios. He began his new career by joining Western Saints Church, which promotes him to be a high-ranking priest. Until then he was summoned to the inner sanctum on the Spirit Mountain and was betrayed by the 7 celestial sage. Adelman headed to the edge of the Great Jura Forest without concern. There was an enormous amount of undead monsters and their zombie dragon leader await Adelman. Adelman's close ally and friend, the Holy Templar Knight Albert, fought him with the other knights in an expeditionary army who all admired Adelman. But in the end, they exhausted themselves in battle and died in this land. But at the time, his other friend Ghidorah casted the secret technique of reincarnation on him to successfully revive him. However, the foul spirits of the land corrupted him and the curse of the dead bonded him. The reincarnated Adelman did not turn into a human. Instead he became an undead that looks like a skeleton. Adelman used to work under the demon lord Clayman. During the war between Clayman and Rimuru, Adelman fought Shuna and later he was defeated and purified by Shuna, releasing him from his curse. Later Adelman became a subordinate of Rimuru and worked under him. He was assigned to guard the 60th floor of the labyrinth, together with Albert and the undead dragon. After the war against the Eastern Empire, Rimuru gave him the title, Gehenna Lord, as one of Rimuru's 12 patrons and moved 100,000 souls through the Soul Corridor. But he declined the awakening to a true demon lord due to his defeat against Krishna. But after his fight with Dino, he ascended as a true demon lord. Since he was unable to attain an ultimate skill of his own, he was still bestowed an ultimate gift, Book of Magic Necronomicon. When using magic, the chant is no longer necessary. Ability to comprehend all non-concealed phenomenon in this world. an ability to kill the target just by looking, etc. Next is Kumara. She was originally a small fox spirit cursed to be Clayman's pet and bodyguard and serving in the group known as the Five Fingers. After being forced to fight during the Demon's Lord's banquet, Rimuru freed her from Clayman's curse, and afterward, she goes on to join Rimuru in Tempest. Being given the name Kumara, she had the bewitching form and beauty of a courtesan. She was named Kumara because she was a nine-tailed fox. And she was able to trick Rimuru into naming her 8 different parts of her, giving her a tremendous energy boost. And this are the demon beast minion named by Rimuru, Black Rat's Caucus, small black mice which spread a disease that causes enemies to develop black spots on their skin and a high fever. Thunder Tiger Raiko. A tiger that is clad in lightning and has control over thunder and lightning. Lunar Rabbit Ghetto. A rabbit which has the ability to manipulate gravity. Snake Yoda. The snake is a winged serpent and can manipulate the contents of the air. The snake lowered oxygen content to 0, killing. Drowsy Sheep Mink. A sheep which can control the consciousness of others by lulling them to sleep with a special hallucinogenic hypnosis. Pure White Ape Byakuan. A pure white yukai ape capable of human speech which uses a hand-to-hand combat type martial arts using a staff as its weapon of choice. He is able to manipulate wind and sound to summon storms, etc. Fire Bird Inshu. A bird covered in flames which kills its enemies with high temperatures. And lastly Mirror Hound Agami. A dog which uses a mirror-like ability that reflects all techniques and attacks back to the original sender. She is able to use a combination of all of her minions' power, making her a formidable powerhouse. With all of the combined, she would be able to contend with the higher-ups, however that would only be possible after she gained more experience. She was also assigned to become the guardian of the 90th floor of Ramirez's labyrinth. After the war against the Eastern Empire, Rimuru gave her the title, Chimeric Lord, as one of Rimuru's 12 patrons and moved 100,000 souls through the Soul Corridor. After that she awakened as a Demon Lord, and she was also awakened her ultimate skill, Mythical Beast Lord Bahamut, which capable of summoning earthquakes and interfere with the laws of the planet. As part of her evolution she has obtained the ability to control earth magic. Next is Ranga. He is the leader of the Star Wolf clan and the son of the previous boss of the Dire Wolves that Rimuru had to kill to protect the Hobgoblins. When Rimuru displayed his superior aura, the remaining Dire Wolf clan bowed in conquest. After the battle they decided to join the Tempest. After being named Ranga, the effect changed throughout the package because they act as one entity. He is an extremely loving and loyal subordinate of Rimuru. Although Rimuru paired each wolf with a hobgoblin, Ranga decided to stay in Rimuru's shadow, soaking his aura caused by the mutation. Because of his constant absorption of Rimuru's aura while in his shadow, Ranga continues to grow stronger, until he is called for or feels necessary. The Goblin Riders and the Star Wolves acquired the rare extra skill Unification. As a result of the Harvest Festival, they became as if one being, able to move quickly on all fours and get a boost of strength. And during the Tempest tournament, Gobuta used Demon Wolf Unification, where Ranga wraps Gobuta's body, and the unification between Ranga and Gobuta is done. Gobuta's body seems to have grown larger, with Ranga transforming himself into a wolf's fur-like armor that covers Gobuta's entire body. After the war against the Eastern Empire, Rimuru gave him the title, Star-Lord, as one of Rimuru's 12 patrons and moved 100,000 souls through the Soul Corridor. After that he awakened into true Demon Lord, and he was also awakened his ultimate skill, Stellar Windlord Hastur, which he has the power to control the weather and lightning. Next is Ultima. She is one of the primordial that joined Tempest after Diablo recruited and became part of the newly formed Black Corps. She was an archdemon when summoned, but evolved to Demon Peer after she was named along with 2 of her 2 servants and 200 soldiers. She was assigned to be chief prosecutor of the Public Prosecution Office in Tempest. After the war against the Eastern Empire, Rimuru gave her the title, Pain Lord, as one of Rimuru's 12 patrons and moved 100,000 souls into her being through the Soul Corridor. After that she awakened as a true Demon Lord, and followed that she evolved into a Demon King, and she was also awakened her ultimate skill, Poisonous Death King Samael, which she's able to coat her black flame whips and claws in poison, a massive fireball of nuclear flame that quickly expands and creates an explosion. Next is Testarossa. She is one of the primordial that joined Tempest after Diablo recruited and became part of the newly formed Black Corps. She was an archdemon when summoned, but evolved to Demon Peer after she was named along with 2 of her 2 servants and 200 soldiers. She was also assigned with being the military attaché, a representative for the Western States Council. After the war against the Eastern Empire, Rimuru gave her the title, Killer Lord, as one of Rimuru's 12 patrons and moved 100,000 souls into her being through the Soul Corridor. After that she awakened as a true Demon Lord, and followed that she evolved into a Demon King, and she was also awakened her ultimate skill, Hell King Belial, grants an instant death with her attacks as it governs over the aspects of life and death, although it is more focused on the death aspect. Next is Carrera. She is one of the primordial that joined Tempest after Diablo recruited and became part of the newly formed Black Corps. She was an archdemon when summoned, but evolved to Demon Peer after she was named along with 2 of her 2 servants and 200 soldiers. She was assigned to be Chief Justice Officer of the Supreme Court in Tempest. After the war against the Eastern Empire, Rimuru gave her the title, Menace Lord, as one of Rimuru's 12 patrons and moved 100,000 souls into her being through the Soul Corridor. After that she awakened as a true Demon Lord, and followed that she evolved into a Demon King, and she was also awakened her ultimate skill, Extinction. Death King Abaddon calls forth a substance from the abyss, a torrent of massive anti-spirit energy to use an offensive spell. After defeating Kondu, he hand over his god-class handgun where she acquired another ultimate skill. Sandalphon the Executioner allows overlapping of multiple skills into material such as bullets. Both ultimate skill was integrated. Next is Xian. She is one of the ogre who managed to survive during the orc army attacked their village. During their escape they encounter the hobgoblin and defeated it, and now Rimuru came to aid. After seeing Rimuru's mask, they thought he is the one who attacked to them, but they failed to defeat him, as Rimuru explained to them that he is not the one who attacked the ogre village, as it was a misunderstood. So Rimuru invited them to his village, and later on they were named along with the others. After Benimaru accepted Rimuru's offer, she evolved into a Kijin, and become Rimuru's secretary and bodyguard. During the invasion Falmouth Kingdom she ended up dying protecting a child. However, she was later revived by Raphael, and following that, her Harvest Festival gift and enabled her to evolve into a Wicked Oni as well. She reached the strength of a disaster class. In the midst of the evolution she receives at Rimuru's gift-granting ceremony when she needs to express his dearest wish. She seeks to make his cooking delicious, thus acquiring the unique skill Cook. During the Walpurgis banquet, Xian fought Clayman and thoroughly beat him easily. Xian really become powerful subordinate after being a Wicked Oni. After the war against the Eastern Empire, Rimuru gave her the title, Warlord, as one of Rimuru's 12 patrons and moved 100,000 souls through the Soul Corridor. After that she awakened as a true Demon Lord, and she was also awakened her ultimate skill, Tyrant King Susano, which she can complete manipulation over the law of causality. Xian's will is given the highest priority over all cause and effect. It also has the ability to control any kind of riotous energy. And now these are the 3 strongest subordinate